Thank you for tuning in. You're now tuned into my podcast, Difficult People Chronicles, Seriously Focused Johnny, SF Johnny. Today's episode is part two of a Q&A, Affected Energy. Before I get into this episode, I wanted to inform you all I'm still giving away free 30-minute sessions for Mother's Day. So email me for a chance to win at sfj.peace@gmail.com and put in the subject box freebie. Good luck. Let me get into this episode. Okay, so I got a lot of emails about the Q&A Affected Energy. So I wanted to go more in depth about it with a part two. I had a feeling from before I was going to do a part two, but I wasn't really too sure. It was just a feeling. And then this morning I woke up, something came to me, even though I was prepared to do another episode about something else. And then I left the house, went somewhere, and a message came to me. And I was literally in the parking lot. And I said, oh, I'm going to remember when I get home. And then I got home and forgot. Then I got in the kitchen and I remembered bits and pieces of it. So I said, you know what? Let me go write this down. And then I wrote it down. And then it all came to me. And then another part came to me. And then I said, you know what? I might as well just do the episode because I was prepared to do it like I would say 2 weeks later. It would have been next week, but I said 2 weeks later because I had stuff that was already done to air. But yeah, it is what it is, you know. When God comes to me at times and it's in great detail, like I have the full layout of whatever God says to me, then I say, I have to put it out. Yep. So, one of the things that affects someone's energy is their thoughts. And I'm going to let y'all know which part of this episode is a message and which part is what I feel. So, this number one is that it's your thoughts that can affect your energy. And your thoughts can block you from making right decisions. Opportunities come in your way. What happens is your thought pattern will make doors close. So it's not always someone that's affecting your energy. Your thoughts can affect your energy. Okay, so last week I talked about someone who comes around you and that person has negative energy. Now this part is a message. So what came to me was that there's three people, right? And it's not all the time that a person that comes around you who is maybe your enemy, a hater, or whatever the situation is, always wishing you bad or whatever. And that's where the negative energy comes from. It could be a situation where, and this is what I saw, that the person comes around you and then all of a sudden everything goes haywire. But the person that comes around you is a good-hearted person. I mean, a sweetheart. So what I saw was three people. I saw a guy with negative energy, always talking negative, doing stuff, saying things in the cut. He don't even think good of himself. Like his whole self-worth is shot down the tubes. And then he goes around his girlfriend because I saw that these two are like boyfriend and girlfriend. Or boyfriend and girlfriend. So he's going around his girlfriend or whatever. And she's going through a lot. And then she goes around her friend, her female friend. And then this female friend is going through a lot. But the female friend is like, where's all this craziness come from? I never had that kind of drama in my life before. Like, this person feels like whatever was going on in her life was at a minimal. Like, maybe a late bill, late fee, bounce check, once in a blue or whatever. But now it's like everything that's going on in her life is back to back to back to back. And she's trying to figure out where is this coming from. And her friend, who always had craziness going on in her life, it has intensified where there is just heightened, where there's so much craziness going on in her life. But still in all, she's at a point where she is low vibrational. And she feels like it's normal. The craziness that's going on in her life. She feels like it's normal. But she does know that her boyfriend is not right and he's trifling. This is part of one of those things where it is crazy. Where you have a negative person around someone And this person knows that her man is negative and trifling and all this other stuff, and he be saying some things, but she don't want to detach. She rather live with the whole concept that he will change. So she's holding on till infinity. Meanwhile, whatever is going on in his mind or he's saying or doing, it's getting worse. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. But she's holding on, and whatever's going on in her life is going crazy, like literally, where she can't get a moment to herself. Yeah, that's just like a spiritual warfare. Sometimes you don't deal with what's going on in your life, and whatever's going on intensifies. Like, it's like a little snowball that gets out of control, and before long it's bigger than you. So the other person, which is the girl's friend, is now affected, and that's what I saw. So I don't know who that's for, you know. I don't know if it's from one of the people that was emailing me or somebody else. That's what's going on. Okay, so this next one is that something of my own, and it's basically when someone comes around you who's a hater and they just don't wish you well. They just don't. They set it on a mental and everything. They just don't wish you well. And this is just two parties. And you know it. But for some reason you can't seem to get away from this person. This person could be a parent, yes, living in your own household. I mean, sorry, not your household, where you live with them and you can't seem to get away from it. It could be a parent, it could be a sibling. And this person is always saying something. You be surprised, because let me tell you something. The moment you get out of that atmosphere, like say you move or you go somewhere else, you start to see doors open. And like I said, family is not exempt, because I seen parents, mother, father, jealous of their child, because they don't look at their child as their child. They look at their child as competition. Stupid, yeah, but it has happened. Okay, so this is what came to me in the parking lot. When your energy is not right, things will look like certain things, like things are rejected, and you will start looking at other people like, oh, that person just didn't want me to work there, or oh, that person just didn't want me to date that person, or that person just didn't want to give it to me, or now all of a sudden they saying it's unavailable. Well, what came to me is that God sometimes will say no, you are not ready. Yup, God will say you are not ready. And what it is that you've been operating out of the wrong energy for so long. He says you are not prepared to get what he is about to give you. I said what I said. He said you are not prepared to get what he's about to give you, because you are operating out of the wrong energy. Put it like this. You are not allowing the Holy Spirit to work in you and through you. And God said you ain't ready. Yup. So what happens is he's been trying to break you down for a long time to build you up, because, and the reason why I say breakdown is because what came to me was breakdown and build up. He wants to break you down, and what I saw is that he wants you to see the areas where you messed up so he could build you back up, and then you will have it right. Meaning that you be right within yourself. You'll know where you went wrong, and you know not to do whatever again. But he's only going to do this when you show him that you are ready. You have faith and you believe in him. Because whoever this is for, this person is wishy-washy, where sometimes they believe, sometimes they don't. Meaning that you doubt in God. An example is a relationship where, because your energy is off, you walk into the wrong relationship. And one of the things is you didn't want to wait on God, nor you didn't want to work on your insecurities or whatever is going on with you. And now you want out of whatever you in. Like you want out. Like you done checked out, moved out, walked out. You want out. But that other party's still holding on. And This person is going to God, and God wants to do some things to you, but you ain't ready. Whoever this is for, you ain't ready. Yeah, you checked out of the relationship. Yeah, you walked out on a relationship, and it's a boyfriend and girlfriend. It's not a marriage. I see relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend, or I don't even see engagement. I see boyfriend and girlfriend. You checked out of the relationship, walked out of the relationship. You mentally not there, but then there's some things inside of you you're not ready to work on. And God wants to break you down where you can see where you went wrong. It's called a healing process. The healing process is not really pretty, you know. It's really not, because it taps into those areas that you don't want to deal with, that you brushed under the carpet for so long. I'm only saying because I know what the process is like. I went through it. But for us, whoever this is for, you're not willing to work on that. hmm you want God to give you what you want, but you don't want to do the work to get to that point. So that's that message. Okay, so this is the other message. What came to me is someone mentally accepted the devil's offer. People always seem to they think that when these people go do something, you know, they some people intentionally do it, when some people are not educated on whatever, meaning like there's so many demonic and devilish symbols and sayings and things out there that a lot of the churches don't, believe it or not. A lot of the parents don't want to talk about certain things, so these people just walk straight into the hands of the devil and don't even realize what they did. Okay, but we're not going to, that's another subject. So I'm sorry, but this message is about mentally accepting the devil's offer. So someone had an agent of the devil around them, and this agent said you could not get, have, or do. So whatever it is, you couldn't get it, you couldn't have it, or you couldn't do it. Or I don't see the or being sickness, but it was you couldn't have, you couldn't get, you couldn't do. Whatever they said is you couldn't. And because it came from a person who was probably a professional, like, and when I say professional, certified in whatever specific area, could be anything, doctor, engineer, sports therapist, I don't know. You accepted it and you settled. So you started doing all the things and you accepted defeat, a loss. Yep. Whatever it is, you accepted it. They could have said something like, oh, and I'm just giving you a random example. Because you got two left feet, you will never be able to walk again. And you believe that. Even if it means you walking around in circles, you will still be able to walk, but you believed it. And action wise, you helped manifest this. Meaning that whoever, like, because that example was for the person saying that because you got two left feet you won't be able to walk again, when in actuality, yeah, you be able to walk again. You probably just walk around in circles or however that looks like, right? But what it is that you put whatever they said into motion because you went and bought a wheelchair. So now you really ain't gonna be able to walk again because you settled, and it affected you mentally, and you pronounced evil over your life because you repeated whatever the person said. Whatever negativity the devil's minion said to you, you materialized, you helped create it, and pronounced evil over your life. How do you change that? What you did? Ask for forgiveness and start thinking and talking positive. But when you ask for forgiveness, you got to ask for forgiveness in the natural and the spiritual realm. Because whatever, whoever said what to you, this person, it's been going on for a long time in your head. It's been going on for a long time in your head, and you accepted it. Yep, you accepted it. Okay, so this last one is a message where, okay, so if you, whoever this is for, if you were the negative person, yup, I said what I said, if you was the negative person, you might have pronounced evil over someone's life, and they call this, what do they call this? Throwing out negativity. You threw negativity their way. You threw negativity their way. Their energy is affected. And how their energy is affected? Because they no longer want to talk to you. They don't like you. They don't want to be around you. Instead of positivity their way, love, light, peace, and hopefulness, you threw negativity their way. I chuckle at that one because the only person hurting in this situation is you. Want me to tell you why? Because you pushed a person away who had the ability to help you. And that whole negativity thing is in you. So basically, you blocked your blessings. Yep, you blocked your blessings. There's somebody out there going through something, like a lot, like, or maybe they just can't get no rest mentally. And I don't feel it's depression or sadness. I think they going through a lot where they just can't get any rest in their mind because it's always on their mind. So they everything they do, you know, if it, if it's a relationship, they go get something to drink and they're like, oh, I wonder what my future wife or husband will drink. You know, if they go take a bubble bath, oh, I wonder if this scent will smell good to my future whomever. Yeah, they mind will not get rest. And what it is that you threw negativity to a person who had the ability to help you. So that means, like, for example, this person, I'm gonna just give you an example because I sometimes I explain things better when I give an example. You have one person that says something like, "Oh, I can't stand her. She a dog. She evil. She trifling. She look like a mutt or whatever the situation is, right? All this evilness." And that same person that person is talking about is none of the stuff that person said, right? And that same person had the power and the ability to pray for the person talking about them like a dog, and they could be going through a sickness. Yep. So now the person that was throwing evil towards the other person is on their mind, is like they thinking about what would their life be like if they were healed, and if they didn't have a sickness, and if this and if that and all this other stuff. They threw negativity another person's way, and that person had the power to help them, but they blocked all of that. So now them healing is on their mind 24/7. What would it look like if, you know, and this is what they're saying to themselves, what it would look like if I could do this, if I could do that, and X, Y, and Z, when they threw negativity someone else's way. Yeah, they blocked their own blessings, karma. And the karma is coming back in the form of worry and restlessness and all this other nonsense. So that's what came to me. So that's it for today. For more, sign up for a one-on-one session. Go to my website, seriouslyfocusedjohnnie.com. Remember, I'm giving away free 30-minute sessions. Email me, sfj.peace@gmail.com. Check out my store. Check me out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, smash the notification. And I think that's it. And for suggested topics, email me. Or if you got something you want to say about this episode, email me. Have a blessed week. It's getting warm out. Love me more and I love you more. Later.